Did you know that out of the 67 leaders in Civilization 6, 3 of them might have never existed? The first 2 seem like pure fantasy, while the existence of the third one is still hotly debated among historians. The first one of these mythological leaders is Gilgamesh. In the early 20th century, archaeologists made a huge discovery in the Middle East. A series of fragmented clay tablets talking about the rulers of power disputes of different Mesopotamian city-states and kingdoms. These became known as the Sumerian Kings List because, well, it basically listed various rulers that governed Sumerian city-states, indicating the length of their reigns and in some cases, their main achievements. And among these kings, we find Gilgamesh. According to the Sumerian Kings List, Gilgamesh was the son of the goddess Ninsun, which is already strange enough. I mean, who would believe something like that, right? Not only that, but there we're also told that our friend Gilgamesh governed Uruk for an incredible period of 126 years. And that's nothing compared to other kings like this one, who reigned for a whopping 40,000 years. Incredible! You can learn more about Gilgamesh and his unique ability in Civ 6 here. So definitely Gilgamesh is a myth, right? Yeah, probably. Though it's also important to point out that some historians believe these myths might have been used to deify a real Gilgamesh after his actual reign we know nothing about. It's another interesting point. The second legendary leader in Civ 6 is none other than Kupe. We know of Kupe and his extraordinary adventures on the sea thanks to Maori oral tradition, where we are told about his incredible voyage to discover this, known in English as New Zealand. According to the Maoris, Kupe arrived on the islands between 23 and 40 generations ago, so historians calculate it was around the year 1000 and 1300 CE when the Polynesians discovered New Zealand thanks to Kupe. Here you can learn more about him and why he has that particular starting position in Civ 6. The point is that this is just an oral tradition from the Maori culture. It might be true, but we have no actual evidence, and moreover, these myths and legends often picture Kupe in some quite unlikely situations, like a fight with a giant squid. Either way, the story seems more likely to have happened than that of Gilgamesh. By the way, there are probably more mythological leaders in the Civilization franchise, so if you want more, leave a like and subscribe. The other mysterious leader is the legendary founder of Carthage, Dido, who's now leading Phoenicia in Civ 6. Why is that, you say? Check it here. The first texts we have that mention Dido were written 500 years after the foundation of Carthage. That's already a red flag, as there are no contemporary or near-contemporary records from Carthage or Phoenicia that mention Dido. It's strange there are no mentions of Dido in the texts of the 9th century BCE, around the time of the foundation of Carthage and when she supposedly lived. Moreover, we have a detailed and developed description of the character of Dido in Virgil's Aeneid, an epic Roman poem that narrates the adventures of the Trojan hero Aeneas, who falls in love with the queen of Carthage. The whole text is a tragedy and hence, it does not account for an actual historical document. And also, it simply looks like some way of linking the two empires, Rome and Carthage. We also have the work of a Latin historian from the 3rd century CE called Justin. He wrote this book, which intended to record all the human history, and it's here where we learn about the foundation of Carthage. In addition, there's also a big red flag when it comes to consistency. For instance, in Virgil's account, Dido is portrayed as a contemporary of Aeneas, who lived around the time of the fall of Troy, but in later texts, like Justin's, we are told that she lived in the standard date we have in the 9th century BCE. So Dido is also one of those leaders that might have never existed, though this topic is hotly debated among historians too. Thanks for watching.